Hi, hello. Welcome to another raid build video where we are building just standard raid counters. These could work in 4, 5, 6-star raids. There's a bunch of legendary Pokemon they added to the game. There's a lot of legendary Pokemon. And spoiler, just because a Pokemon is legendary doesn't mean it's automatically good. So because there are a lot of legendary Pokemon, I'm going to break this into like a series. And so today we're going to be talking about the Hoenn legendaries, Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. We'll get to the other legendaries in another video. So let's just jump into things real quick. Okay, we're going to start off with Kyogre. Now, the reason I wanted to start off with the Hoenn legends is because both Kyogre and Groudon are very dominant Pokemon in competitive. They're really, really good. And the reason they are good is because of their abilities. Well, they also have really good move pools. They also have really good stats. But their abilities are really great. I don't want to put the cart before the wait. What was the I don't want to put the the cart before the Mudsdale. But there are some Pokemon that just have bad abilities, like Mewtwo. Like Pressure is not a super great ability at all. Neither is its hidden ability, which I think is Unnerve. That's not to say Mewtwo is a bad Pokemon. It's just its ability is very lackluster in raids. Kyogre and Groudon's ability are fantastic in raids, and they can really, really help. So with Kyogre, we can see that it has a massive special attack stat of 150. It has a really good special defense stat of 140. And then its other stats are just very good. Like defensive 90 is pretty good. HP of 100, great. It's only weak to two things. It's only weak to electric and grass. I don't think you would be bringing a water type Pokemon to an electric and grass raid anyways. So you're good there. And the slight downside is its move pool is very limiting. I normally suggest 6 moves. So when you look at my raid builds, it can hopefully spark and inspire you to build that. Or, if you don't want any inspiration, you just want to copy and paste, that is totally cool too. So its move pool is not as great as you would think. It's okay though. It's a really good competitive move pool, but specifically for raid builds, it's okay. It's not the worst. I think Kyogre is something is worth building though. I totally think it's worth having in your box as a Pokemon that you could possibly bring to future raids. So with that being said, here is my Kyogre. I actually brought this was the 2018 Legends event, Year of Legendary they did. So this is the Cherish Ball Kyogre. None of that matters. You can bring Kyogre over from Pokemon Go if you want to. But the moveset I am recommending here is Surf, Chilling Water, Calm Mind, and Thunder. We're not doing Kyogre's signature move Origin Pulse. The main reason for that is it's only 85% accurate. Surf is 90 damage with 100% accuracy. Origin Pulse is 110 damage with 85% accuracy. And if you've ever played a Pokemon game before, you know that 85% accuracy is actually 50% accuracy. You either hit or you don't. So in raids, I would like a 100% accurate move, because the downside is if you miss your move, not only are you not doing damage, you are 1 turn behind on getting your Terra charged. You need to hit 3 moves, damage dealing moves, in order to terastallize. By missing, it almost feels like you're playing catch up. Running Surf, if you feel more confident in your RNG and you don't want to miss, then go for the Origin Pulse. But I think Surf is really safe, really consistent. And because Kyogre comes in and sets up Rain, you're going to get the same type of attack bonus on Surf. You're also going to get the damage boost from the Rain on Surf. We have Chilling Water here. If we go back to Kyogre's stats, we can see that its defense is not its strongest stat. Its special defense is incredibly good, literally opening up the raid with 1 or 2 Chilling Waters if you're bringing Kyogre against a physical raid boss. Not only helps Kyogre, but it helps your entire team. It also adds to your Terra. Chilling Water also gets that same type of attack bonus, and it gets that raid boosted damage. Not that like Chilling Water is going to be sweeping any teams, but it's such a powerful move in raids. Finally, we have Calm Mind, which is going to boost Kyogre's special attack and its special defense every time we use it. And finally, we have Thunder. Another option here is you could opt to run Thunder Wave. So if you are facing a special attacking Pokemon, Chilling Water isn't going to give you any benefit there. But opening up with a Thunder Wave to paralyze it is beneficial. The cool thing about Thunder, though, is in the Rain, it's 100% accurate, and it has a 30% chance to paralyze. 9 times out of 10, you're going to be hitting Surf because of the Rain boost and because of the same type attack bonus, obviously. Not only is Thunder accurate in the Rain, 100% accurate in the rain, but you have a chance of paralyzing, which does work through the Raid Shield. Thunder Wave would bounce off the Raid Shield and not work. I think this is a pretty cool moveset. I'm opting to put Damp Rock on Kyogre, and the reason for that is it gives us 3 more turns of rain for free without needing to put Rain Dance on our Kyogre. So that's 3 more turns of our Surf being stronger. That's 3 more turns of our Chilling Water being stronger. That's 1 turn that we're not using to set up rain. And that's also 3 more turns of Thunder being 100% accurate. You don't want to be turn 6 in the raid being like, ugh, it would really help if we have if we could paralyze the boss right now. But also now my move is 70% accurate. So I think Damp Rock has really good synergy with both Surf, Thunder, and on top of Kyogre's ability. So, but if you don't want to Damp Rock, again, my raid builds, you don't have to build them to a T. You could do Mystic Water to boost your Surf damage, or you can do Shell Bell to get some recovery back. So those are some other possible held item options. Again, this is just a general like Kyogre that you could bring to 5 or 6 star raids. I think it's one of the best water type Pokemon currently now that we have access to it in Scarlet and Violet. Our next Pokemon is going to be Groudon, and Groudon has an incredible attack stat and really good defense. It's kind of the opposite of Kyogre. Kyogre has really good special attack and a really good special defense. Groudon does have the ability Drought, so instead of setting up the rain, it sets up sun. Unfortunately, that's not as good as Kyogre because Kyogre sets up rain, which boosts water damage, and it's a water type, so it gets the same type attack bonus. So it ends up doing a ton of damage because of the 3 working together. Groudon sets up Sun, and while it can learn fire type moves, it's not a fire type Pokemon, it's a ground type Pokemon. So we're going to use it as a ground type Pokemon. Now, setting up Sun is still really great, especially if the Pokemon you're versing has a water type move. Groudon is weak to water, ice, and grass. Setting up Sun can help your teammates. Obviously, if you have grass type Pokemon sitting next to you, they can benefit from growth, they can benefit from Solar Beam, all that stuff because of the sun being set. Groudon gets access to Earthquake. Earthquake is 100% accurate, and it does 100 damage, and you get the same type attack bonus. Now, you could opt for Precipice Blades, but this is my same problem with Origin Pulse, is it's not 100% accurate. This is just preference. Again, if you think you have amazing RNG, then run Precipice Blades. I've played enough competitive to know my Precipice Blades always misses, so I'll just play it safe with Earthquake. Now, Groudon gets access to Swords Dance, so Swords Dance to boost your physical attack. Groudon also gets access to Will-O-Wisp, so if you are facing a physical Pokemon, you can Will-O-Wisp it to lower its attack. Obviously, that does not work through Raid Shield, but that does benefit your entire team. And then finally, you have Mud Slap. Now I know what you're thinking. Mud Slap is going to do little to no damage. That's very true. It's a 20 power move. It's also a special move where Groudon is a physical Pokemon. But Mud Slap is one of those moves that benefits the entire team because it lowers the raid boss's accuracy. You know, if you locked into a raid with randoms and you're not comfortable with their choices, number 1, I'm not sure why you locked into that raid. But number 2, you could actually open up with 2 or 3 Mud Slaps. You can build for your Terra, so then you can do major damage with Earthquake once you Terastallize. Your teammates are getting hit less because you've lowered their accuracy. And if they're getting hit less, that means they're dying less. That means that the raid will hopefully be more successful. I even honestly think using, like, regardless of if it's physical or special, I think opening up with 1 Mud Slap is just a great play. If you wanted to bulk your Groudon, you could replace Swords Dance with Bulk Up. I don't think Groudon needs the extra defense boost, so I do actually think Swords Dance is better there. Most of the time, it's like, whatever you prefer, but I do think Swords Dance is the better one. Held item-wise, we are going to do the Shell Bell to get health back. Groudon's high special attack with Swords Dance should be the main form of health recovery here. Unlike Kyogre, I don't think we need to put the Weather Extender on Groudon. Kyogre gets way more benefits from the rain than Groudon does from the sun in most situations. Again, this is just a general Groudon build, and it's just as simple for Kyogre and Groudon to be adamant, Kyogre to be modest, both max HP, and then Groudon max attack, Kyogre max special attack. I did play around with the EVs a little bit, but again, just for general purpose attackers, usually HP is the way to go. If we were fighting something like a Chestnut where we know that it's going to be physical, it's more beneficial to invest in defense because we know that it doesn't have any special attacks. But usually for general purpose raid Pokemon. That's why we put everything into HP normally, because we get both the special and the physical side of things. Just to kind of explain that further, that I know this might be somebody's first time watching my raid build videos. Finally, we have Rayquaza, the last Pokemon we're going to be talking about. And don't bring it to raids is really what it comes down to. Ignore my moveset because, and ignore the EVs. This was just a Rayquaza that I used competitively in Sword and Shield. But unfortunately, Rayquaza is one of those Pokemon that is not a good raid Pokemon. I do want to explain that really quick before you click off. And again, and as I switch over here, if you do find my raid builds helpful, if they've helped you in the past, if they made it easier for you to coordinate stuff with friends, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. That really helps out. And I do these raid builds because I genuinely like raids a lot. I think they're super fun. And I want people to have fun as well and to have options. And not everyone knows how to build a raid Pokemon or understand why putting EVs in a specific area. So anyways, if we go to Rayquaza, it is a mixed attacker. So you could either go physical or you could go special. And its ability is Airlock, which is not the most beneficial ability for raids because not a lot of raid bosses set weather. The one raid boss that sets weather that I can think of is Avalugg. It spams Snowscape pretty frequently, but you wouldn't even bring Rayquaza to any ice type raid because it's 4 times weak to ice. A lot of Pokemon that would be rock would set Sandstorm. You don't really want to do that either. And usually we want to bring Rain and Sun for us, not for the raid boss. This is one of those abilities that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that's not particularly great. There are probably very specific use cases where we would want to airlock something. For example, if we were fighting the 7-star Typhlosion and we didn't have anyone to set Rain, we could prevent them from setting Sun, or at least nullify Sun with airlock. But even in that situation, it's just way better to set Rain. Yeah, shutting off Sun is fine, but setting Rain weakens fire type attacks. In a lot of situations, setting the opposite weather is better instead of just disabling the weather. Rayquaza gets a great move pool in the sense of it has a lot of coverage, but it doesn't have a lot of support. So even though it's a mixed attacker, it doesn't really benefit from either side. Like, it does get a powerful move, Dragon Ascent, on the physical side. But the problem with Dragon Ascent is the same problem with close combat because it is pretty much a flying close combat. You never want to lower your own stats on purpose in a raid. So every time you would use Dragon Ascent, your defense and your special defense would drop. Usually you don't fail a raid because of damage. Usually you fail a raid because you fainted too many times. And so you don't want to set yourself up to have the raid boss knock you out even easier. Now I know what you're saying. Rayquaza gets access to Swords Dance. That's true, but that's really where it ends. Rayquaza can Swords Dance, but at that point, its best dragon type move would be Dragon Claw. So you're just Swords Dancing to Dragon Claw to get the same type attack bonus on Dragon Claw, and then that's it. But there are other better dragon type attackers that are in the game, and we'll get to those in a future video because some of those are legendary Pokemon. In the dragon department, there are other better dragons, and in the flying department, there are already better flying type Pokemon as well. While Rayquaza may be a lot of people's favorite Pokemon, the things that it does isn't unique or better than any other Pokemon that already exist. Could you run a Swords Dance Shadow Claw Rayquaza? Sure. Could you run a Swords Dance Waterfall Rayquaza? Sure. Could you run a Swords Dance Stone Edge Rayquaza? Absolutely. But every single one of the situations, there's a better raid Pokemon for it. There's a better dragon raid Pokemon, and there's a better flying raid Pokemon. I'm sure we'll see Rayquazas in raids because people like Rayquaza a lot, but I think Rayquaza is not a great raid Pokemon. He's cool though. Like, if he got Breaking Swipe, this would be a whole different conversation, but Rayquaza does not get Breaking Swipe in this game. If he didn't shut off Rain Dance, we could maybe run a Hurricane Rayquaza because Hurricane would be 100% accurate in the rain, and then you would get the same type attack bonus from Hurricane, but its ability stops the rain, which then stops the accuracy boost for Hurricane. So it's not particularly good, unfortunately. But yeah, those are the 3 Hoenn legendaries. I think you should absolutely build a Groudon and Kyogre. I think they're great to have in your boxes in case you're running around Paldea and you need to squeeze in some 6-star raids, and those type matchups are perfect for you. Rayquaza, I would not invest your resources in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna be putting out a lot of raid videos of things that I can suggest for you to build. But thanks for watching, and yeah, take it easy.